Mic check. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of TheDropPodcast. This is the podcast where play games and hang out, do our thing. Today is just another super chill day. I gotta say, guys, it's been a second. I've been kind of off my game. I get it. I gotta work on that, but I will be working on it. And you know what? I just feel like because I've been, and I love this, by the way. I love this. I'm not complaining about this, but so I've been just kind of up and down with being on time and being good about recording. I've just been going to places a lot. I mean, there's no excuse. Like, I definitely could make time if I set my mind to. I could definitely do it, but I just been a little bit lax, I guess. Where I should be a little bit more involved. 100%. And I mean that's just the extent to that. I've been traveling. Like, I went to, like, driving on trips and only seeing people that I know. So, like, I'm being cautious and not spreading anything to anybody during this season that we are going through. But I've really been, I mean, just really, like, I went to, let's see, where did I go before? Well, after I went to California, it was like a month later. Then I went to Ohio, and then after Ohio, I went to this cabin for Thanksgiving, actually, and it was awesome. It was so great, and I'm enjoying going places and seeing new things and just being, well, just like getting those perspectives, seeing different things. So, like, on my way back to Thanksgiving, just as an example, on my way back, driving back from Thanksgiving, which I was in Missouri, but on Thanksgiving, I went to this place called Cherryville. And Cherryville, on the way back, it's like way, like, I think it's like south, or it might be it might be west of, like, St. Louis, and then a little bit south. But I don't know. It seemed like country to me. So I was there, and on the way back, there was this place that literally looked like an old Western town with, like, a 70s twist on it. Like, it was like old Western, where it's like small shops just lining a main road, like how you would see in, like, the films, and there'd be like tumbleweed. There wasn't tumbleweed, but I'm just explaining the film. But it looked like that. It was like this long road and just, like, shops on the side. But all the shops were, like, neon colored and like short with the triangle roofs. It looked just like an old 70s Western film. And it was really cool. And then as we left this place, we were going up this hill. Which, that's another thing. I thought Missouri was pretty flat, but no, we got some hills if you go a little bit to the west. Or wait, never, east, west. Yeah. But anyway, so we're going up this hill, and it's like you don't see what's over the top quite yet. You just kind of have, like, a picture, like some sort of idea, But then all of a sudden, it's like you come over the top of this place and you see, like, this magnificent view with mountains in the background and not mountains, but, like, more hills in the background, like trees just laying over the top, like a sea of just trees. It was so beautiful. It reminded me a little bit of California, the way that whenever you're in California, or at least Pasadena area, whenever you look around, you can see the mountains off in the distance. It's incredible. It's beautiful. Except here's more like nature, more natural, where the beauty of California is more man-made, and it's two different types of beauties. I like nighttime at California, and I like all the lights and the city, but there's also a beauty to being out in the wilderness. Whenever the sun was coming over, and you see this, you saw the orange like just melt, like it looked like the sun is just like melting into the distance, and there's the trees, and the trees are like dark, like shadows, so it's like the silhouette of the trees with the sun in the background, and it just looks incredible, absolutely just amazing. But yeah, I mean, it was just really good time. I'm really glad that I went, and I don't want to stop. I want to keep going. I want to keep traveling, keep exploring, keep seeing things, keep seeing life, keep just seeing like those things like that. Like, how often do you get to see a sunset like that, or how often do you get to see just like an old western town that people actually live in? Like, there was a school, like whenever we were turning over the corner, leaving the town, there was this looked like a middle school or like high school or something, but it was like one small town surrounded by like distance. Like, people who lived there had to travel to get to that town. That was probably like the main town. Like, they probably don't see a lot, you know what I mean? Or they're probably not around like a lot of people. They just do things different. But I wouldn't want to live out there, but it was really, really cool. By Cherryville was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit, because I can't find this Dragon Ball. So I'm gonna look up for 1 second the Dragon Ball locations for this game. Over the summer though, I'm thinking about. So I kind of have two options. I could either go back to California in January, or I was thinking this summer, if my cousin comes out, then we could go on a trip around the Midwest and just see everything in the Midwest. I want to stop by Kentucky. I want to stop by Louisville, Kentucky, because that's where Jack Harlow's from. I want to stop by trying to think. We listed some names off. Indiana, because Indiana we actually go to a lot. Well, not a lot, but like on the 4th of July, sometimes we'll go out to Indiana because we have family out there, and it's just awesome. Like, we just love it. It's incredible. I'm missing out. Here's those. We'll find the answer. Okay. So what I need to know is, where is the Dragon Balls? But eventually, I'm starting to look like I'm gonna be able to get my first property. Maybe I'm gonna check out with, or I met this person, and this person, she works with me, but I met with this person, and hold on. World, you can open the race. Civic characters, da 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 da. For each player, Hercules becomes playable. You can go. Surely those stats. Aren't. But yeah, so whenever I met this girl, she was telling me about how she's 25. She's 25 years old, and she already paid off her house. She's 25 years old, and she's the owner of a house. She bought the house like 3 years ago, so it just took her like 3 years to pay off this house. Now she was working hella. She had 3 jobs, and hold on. Follows. This is so annoying. None of these places are telling me. She has 3 jobs though. And not anymore, but she had 3 jobs. And then she got it's like R just go define the job. Oh, I'm silly. Okay. What was I saying though? She has 3 jobs. I don't know what the Dragon Ball is though. Alright, forget it. We're gonna do this. Alright. So she has 3 jobs. She was for the longest she was a what'd she do? She did security at night. Then she worked. Then she would do home working, so she would like take care of like elder people, and then she did work with it was this company, and they would build these things. They would build like the carts that you use if you've ever done like a warehouse job or a mechanic job. Then they would build like those carts that you can like lay tools and stuff on, you know, stuff like that. What else? She had a couple jobs after that, but anyway, like she just worked and worked and worked and worked. She worked hellas, and then eventually paid off her house. She has 1 daughter. She has 1 daughter, and she still paid off her house. So I mean, I guess 1 daughter isn't a lot, and she's not married, and you know she has to put her kid through school, pay for like daycare. So it's like she works, you know, she's put through stuff. She has to do stuff, and she made this happen. And I mean, I just say it because that's a testament. Because like a lot of people say like, oh man, I don't have time, or I'm not gonna be able to do that because X, Y, Z. No. That's an excuse. You can do it if you set your mind to it, but you have to know what your goals are, and you have to be willing to work hellas for it. I mean, this lady worked hellas for it. She's a daughter. She had 3 jobs. Now, of course, it's not like every single day she was going to these jobs, but she, you know, she found a way to make as much money as she could, and then she made it work. And then she's trying to get into real estate. So she's already got her first house. It's already paid off. So now it's just seeing like what she can do now that she kind of has like that freeness. Like now she's just kind of saving up and figuring out how she wants to go about her with the rest of her, you know, journey with, you know, everything. So I don't know, but she was hella cool, and she gave me some really good advice. She thought that one thing that I should focus on, besides saving up, I mean, she was basically like, oh, you should get a car first off, which a lot of people have, you know, advised me to, or not a lot of people, but you know, the people that I go to for advice advise me to get a car. So I at some point I will. At some point I gotta do that. That's for sure a must. For sure something I will do. But first I kind of want to see what I can do with I want to see what I can do first with my money as far as getting a loan, going to Rocket Mortgage and getting a loan for some stuff, because that's what she did for real. She went to Rocket Mortgage, and that's what I was gonna get to. She went to Rocket Mortgage, and that's how she started. Because with Rocket Mortgage, she went and got her loan, and it was like really low interest rates. So she was like, "Oh no, for sure you should do this." So it was really low interest rates, and I don't know. It was just like, she was just basically like, it was just like a really good deal, and they took care of me and like walked her through the process. Like, she didn't even have a home yet that she wanted to buy, but they had people that they hooked her up with and got her set up with some of that action, and she just said they were like really helpful, and just all that jazz, or all that stuff. So I think that I want to start there first. I want to buy the house, and then she said, do not tell the people that you're going to rent it out or use that space for business, even though you might. Like me, I'm 100%, 158 bajillion%. I'm going to make like a studio in the place, maybe use it as a studio, maybe rent out the space to people or whatever. Or if not that, then I'm just gonna rent it out as a space, and people can use it, or people can live there. Like, maybe like already start off renting out, the house. I'm not sure like what laws look like, because I know you're kind of supposed to, and if you tell them that you live in it, you can get a smaller down payment. But I don't know if that's just through banks or if Rocket Mortgage does it a little bit differently, but either way, I'm gonna go through Rocket Mortgage, see what I can do, and so that way I'll have my first property, and then and that's how I forgot his name, but I listened to this podcast. Well, you guys know it's like a super famous podcast. It's called Bigger Pockets Podcast, and it's pretty much all about real estate. But there was this character, this Asian guy, and he was on Bigger Pockets, and he basically just lived with his parents until he could afford his own place, and then once he could do that, he went ahead, moved out, and did his thing. Like he had like 3 buildings already ready for him, or while he was living with his parents, and so he was just working, saving up, doing his little investing, and so I like that idea. I'm just worried about Missouri law, but either way, she just said don't tell them, and so I'm sure like if I don't tell them, like they probably won't find out that I'm kind of using that building as a rental property, so which is a little bit dishonest, but I mean, whatever, it's I don't know. You can make excuses for it, forget it. This is my journey. This is how I'm gonna make it. Screw it. I don't care. I just feel like, I don't know, I guess I can't back that up, but whatever. That's what I'm gonna do. Anyway, it's like dumbly illegal. You know what I mean? Like, it's just whatever, but I've already made the decision. So I still believe you should be honest, though. So most of the time you should be honest. In this case, whatever. You get the pass. But stuff I'm gonna do, I'm gonna check out Rocket Mortgage, see if they can hook me up with some stuff. Now, she got a home in Jennings. So I know Jennings isn't like the best area, but I don't know, I'll see what I can do. Try and get a good deal. I'm aiming for somewhere around like 50 to 70,000. So, 'cause, I mean, honestly, if they let me go for like 100,000, I'll take it. But I just figure like it's kind of a lot of money. so I don't know. But I mean, I'll see. Can't be too bad. You know what I mean? Like, and besides, she says she lives in Jennings, but she's like, there's crime everywhere. Like Jennings, like, I have cameras in front of my home. I feel safe. I live with my daughter there. She gets babysat. She was like, the worst thing that happened is like there was this vacant property, and across the street, and on the property, someone tried to rob the vacant property, and she just called the cops on them. And the cops came, took them out in like a matter of like 5 minutes. So she felt very safe. But another thing that she was looking at is she's been looking into places around the world that like what you want to go for is you want the I think it's like the value of like whatever the place is or the neighborhood. You want it to be less than the amount that people make. So like the median income for like Missouri is like 35,000 or something like that. But like the common value of a property is, I don't know, I forget, like maybe like 70 to like 100,000 or something, maybe more. I don't remember the numbers, but it's just for the example. But she said you actually want to look for a place where people make more than the value of the properties, because then you're getting more on your property. You can bump the prices up and whatever. Inflation is good for investments. And there's actually a natural healthy level of inflation that people that's good. That's good for us, because we hear inflation, we think bad, and I think it's just more politics that's why we think that. But it's really not that bad. It's not as bad as we think it is. Raising the minimum wage, it's not really a good thing, but it's not as bad as we think it is. It's just kind of a thing. It's like just pushing inflation at an unnatural rate, which is bad, but at the same time, it's not like terrible. Like it is what it is. But anyway, that's why you'll see like politicians like to say, "Oh, well, look at them. They have what is it called? They have a minimum wage of like $17. Yeah, and we could too eventually, but let's just let the natural rate of inflation take us there. But either way, I mean, they're already raising it to $12 an hour, and the economy is going to catch up. It's not going to be like a sudden change, and all these business owners have to do that. And I'm not even sure, because also cities have different minimum wages, and which is often more than what the state minimum wage is. And same with the federal minimum wage. The federal minimum wage is only like $7 or something. So I mean, really, it's just if you have a good economy, wages do go up anyway, because inflation goes up. People raise prices, you have to pay people more, or else you're just gonna suffocate. So I don't know. I mean, that's just one thing that I think people misunderstand, and why minimum wage won't necessarily be a good thing, and you just have to be careful, because you really don't want to kill smaller businesses who can't really afford to pay that minimum wage. And I get it, people just want but part of what makes a more free society that's has some risk is it makes it easier to jump up levels. Like, it just like the rate at which billionaires change will be much greater the more you leave the government out of the economy. So that's what people misunderstand. They think that capitalism is keeping the poor poor and the rich rich. It's not really the case. I mean, it allows wealth to make wealth, but at the same time, it's not keeping the poor from making wealth. It actually gives poor more opportunity, but it also makes makes things much more riskier whenever you don't have governments bailing out big business, and you just let the economy kind of take its course, and if big business fails, and something else replaces it or does better than before. And it's like nature, just like let nature do its thing sometimes, and it's always going to take care of itself. But what was I saying? But yeah, people misunderstand, I think, where they feel like capitalism is keeping the rich richer, but actually government is keeping the rich richer. Well, it's keeping the same rich. It's not necessarily making anyone richer, although whenever you're rich, it's much easier to make money. So whenever you're also backed by the government, now you're secured in your position to make money. So it's just not really a good idea. It's better to not be socialist, at least for as long as possible. I know I talk about, like, I think eventually it's gonna be inevitable, but I also think I might be wrong, because I probably would have said the same thing back in the day whenever we had trains and horses or whatever. How can you go past that? But that's also just because I can't envision things. I'm not a mechanic, not highly educated in all these realms. I just know literature. I'm taught. I'm a student. I'm a student of this time. I'm not a Renaissance man. I rarely work with my hands. The biggest thing I do, like, I box. Like, my job is boxing items. I'm not really learning a whole lot of natural skills. And so I think maybe if I did pursue that, I would learn a little bit more about what could happen. Like what we could do in regards to nature or just pushing the limits. Because the more exposure you get, and the more you learn, the more connections in your brain, the more you can kind of make sense of the world and see things for what it is. Memory imprints itself onto you, right? Or imprints the world onto you. Or like learning is imprinting information onto your nervous system. I would check that, by the way. Matter of fact, I can check that. Well, I'm gonna check it because that's a lot of science that we might get into. But anyway, you can either just trust me or question. That's up to you. But what I was saying though is that I believe in finding that Dragon Ball that is right there. That's okay. I forgot what I said. I forgot what I was talking about, actually. But no problem. Because we will kick some butt. I gotta figure out. Oh shoot! You know what? I forgot to set the timer. I have no idea how long we've been. That's cool. I'm having a good time. Let's just get this Dragon Ball, and then maybe I'll see about cutting it or something like that. I don't know. You know what? Let's just go until I feel like it's not time to go anymore. Sorry I've been off, by the way, about just like on my schedule. Like I said, I have been, doing things, going places, being intentional about things, just trying to increase my knowledge base and learn about the world. But I mean, that's no excuse. Like, I make this commitment, and I think it's important that I stay to this commitment. And I enjoy this. It's not like I dislike it. If I disliked it, I wouldn't do it. But it's just like I get busy with things, and I kind of get lazy with things. Well, I have a schedule, you know what I mean? I don't like to mess up that schedule. I like to stay on track with all the things that I'm doing. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just like to be consistent. Sometimes, I guess I need my man Goku for this. I like to stay consistent, and so I have like a schedule. I've actually been watching a lot of anime lately. I just finished Seven Deadly Sins, like one of the seasons, and then I started this new show. It's called like Yona or something. It's so freaking good. I'm really liking right now like the Camelot type of like kingdom, but this one is like especially like it feels like Japanese culture, you know what I mean? It feels like that's what I'm seeing, or that's what I'm looking at least. And I like it. It's just neat, and it's cool, and it's got really nice art, and it's just really pretty and kind of compelling story already. Basically, like there's this princess that is her dad is like this super low key, like super relaxed Buddhist, calm, all peace, no weapons type of king, and people don't like that because they don't feel like they don't trust him to protect the kingdom. And really, I mean, he's kind of pushing to keep the peace and keep people safe. So I mean, whatever. I mean, I don't know. People want what they want. But anyway, it's just that's kind of what it's about, though. And anyway, so then this girl, her childhood friend from like a long time ago. Well, she has two. One is actually this warrior that's meant to protect her, and then this other guy, he was like this guy that she wanted to marry or whatever, and then ends up he killed the king, kind of in revenge for his father, who he thinks should have been king and would have been a better king because he was a warrior and would have done more to protect the kingdom rather than do all this peace searching and whatever. But it's really good though. I think it's incredible. And I've been thinking about like stories. I really need to start on this podcast idea that I want to pursue. I have been writing, but I just can't decide because I feel like it'd just be weird, like an audiobook form, and I don't know, it'd just be strange. I like this idea of like short stories about people, and but I don't know. I think like with podcasts, like to make it unique, you have to do it different. Gladwell, forgot his first name, but he's the podcast. He does revisionist history with Bushkin Industries or something like that. At the beginning, he goes Bushkin, but he has like, oh my gosh, his voice is incredible, and the way he tells stories is so impeccable. Like it just draws you in. But what was I gonna say? But he's doing this audio book podcast form, but he's doing it alive. So it's like every interview that he does, you hear like the people that he interviews talking in it. Like, isn't that such a good idea? And he's like, I think this is the future of podcasts. Damn right, that's the future of podcast or audiobooks. That's genius. The way he did that. And I listened to Night Vale, which I hate that podcast. Dude. Night Vale is so, just feels like it's trying to be edgy, like it was cool at first, but after a while you're just like, okay, yeah. I like the setup though. I like what they do with like the music in the middle, and it is kind of compelling with the guy's voice. And I like the reoccurring characters that they bring back, like the lady that has the angels, and So it's kind of like you have like all these stories that you're just touching on every once in a while, you know, and I really like that. I think that's really cool. But I'm more so. I just don't like how edgy it is. I think maybe I could do my own spin on that. I don't want it. I don't want it to be like a copycat though. So I don't want it to be the same thing. You know, I want it to be something more unique. But maybe follow a similar structure. But I don't want it to be like, oh, I'm doing this podcast or not this podcast, but I'm doing a talk show. Like I won't do that. Maybe I'll do it in the form of I'm just telling the story, you know. Maybe like late at night I'm talking to the void about just someone I heard or I don't know. I'm not sure how I should do this. Maybe I'll be someone doing a research project, and in my research project I'm doing a research project on the people in my town. Okay, and the people in my town come from different places. So that way it leaves me the opportunity, if I want to tell a story about someone from Japan who was like a runaway princess or whatever, I can do that. Or like from a place where there's not a lot of civilization, I could do that and tell just a story however I want. The only thing is like, well, you know, I guess the thing would be is just to start, you know, because that's the thing. Like, it's always like, oh, well, I'm not a good storyteller, but I mean, just start. Like, whenever you just start, you get good. You get good by practicing, right? So I think I just need to remind myself that, you know, I'm never gonna get better if I don't work on it. You know, if I don't keep trying to attempt new skills. It's like trying to learn how to skateboard but waiting till you figure out how to skateboard. Like, that's stupid. You have to start and you have to suck at it first. You have to be a fool, like Jordan Peterson says. You have to be a fool first, and then you pick up on skills and learn different things, and then eventually grow in your abilities and just become more talented, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But I think I'll start that. I'll make it a goal Sunday. I don't have much going on tomorrow. So Sunday I'll make it a goal to record my first story. Yeah, I'll make it my goal to record my first story. And then eventually I also have to look into the real estate thing. Send Rocket Mortgage an application. I think I'm scared again. I need to go on a vacation again because, I mean, a big vacation. Like, California shook me. So I think I need to do that again because I came back and I was ready to just spend all the money in the world. It was just awesome. Like, I was so ready. You know what? I guess I don't need to do that. Let's just do it. Let's just make the decision and go for it, you know? That's the thing. Like, just stop being afraid to take action. That's a big, big lesson. But it's hard whenever your money's on the line, you know? Because, I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy to be an entrepreneur. One conversation me and my significant other have been having is like, you know, what's gonna happen, you know, because it's a reoccurring conversation, because I don't think any of us really want to do anything about it, because it's really hard, like, to know what to do, or not to know what to do. I mean, I guess we kind of low-key know what to do, but it's like we don't really want to. Neither of us want to pull the trigger, you know. I guess me, like, I'm just kind of worried, like, what happens if we find out that actually, never mind, like, this is good, and we might be interested in XYZ. Look, I know that I want to travel. I just don't know what she wants to do, you know. Or I know I want to travel, but I just don't know exactly what that's going to look like. I have this idea of what it's going to look like. And I always think, like, I always get excited. Like, I always be like, oh, man, I can't wait. I just want to do that, like, up and leave, like, right now and just go everywhere. And then I remember, like, I'm in a relationship, you know. Like, you can't just leave, you know. You kind of have responsibilities, and I don't know, man. It's just is what it is. And I don't want to regret, you know. I don't want to regret. I don't know. I don't know. I'll just have to see. But I know this is what I want to do. I want to travel, and I want to see everything. You know, I just want to understand people. But eventually, I'm gonna settle down. You know, eventually, and that's also the other thing. Like, eventually I will come up with a plan, get things together, and by that point probably just be working on real estate and in my project with psychology and developing some kind of thing for children, you know. But I've also been thinking about that. I think it's time, because I feel like I'm ready. Like, if I could give talks, I would. And so I've been thinking about, like, starting a meetups group, maybe. Like, maybe I could start a meetups group, and people could come and hear me talk about stuff about, you know, about improving on psychology and, like, a positive psychology. Like, now I'm just kind of putting together the vocab, and so maybe it'll start with the book, which the book I definitely want to take time on. But along the way, like, I could definitely start giving talks about what I'm pursuing, and but I don't know. And also, I think maybe I should figure out how to release a book. See, I gotta say, one thing about having a job is there's so much opportunity. Like, the fact that I could buy the things that I did. Now, if you have a phone, there's no excuse. Start. I would say start. If you could do anything, just simply start. Or at least come up with ideas. Like, here's one thing. Like, I know, like, I'm always, like, afraid, but and having money kind of provides you, like, that vehicle, because you can buy kind of whatever you want. You can support what you want. Like I'm able to distribute my music because I have this awesome job that provides me with income that, you know, gives me the ability to do what I want, you know, with my music and release it and make money off of it. I've already made 46 cents. It's up from last time, 46 cents. It's awesome. But yeah, I mean, but the thing is, like, just start, like, even, I mean, I guess in that case, like, I mean, just find, like, a crappy cheap mic, or write your songs first, or, I don't know, I guess it is tough because, well, if you have a computer, then you have to have a computer, but you're telling me that no one in your house has a computer, that's tough, or GarageBand, or maybe, I don't know, but I mean, it's tough to say what to do before that. But if anything, I would say just get a job. Like, if you have nothing else that you can do, get a job. That's number one priority that makes the most sense. And it really does provide you with a lot of really great, wonderful opportunities that can take you in so many different directions, with so many different opportunities. And I don't know, it's just, a job is the best thing, honestly, the best thing that you could do for yourself, honestly. Alright, let's see. I have a feeling we're gonna have a fight soon, so I'm gonna come over here. Oh, okay, I don't know what that is. We're gonna kick his butt. I like these RPGs, man. It's just cool, you know. Maybe we'll do some Super Nintendo games after this. I do think I should start, getting into something else besides Game Boy, because I don't know, maybe Game Boy is getting old or whatever. Jeez, come on. Do you guys remember whenever I first started and I couldn't do this? Like, I just kept dying. I mean, I guess to be fair, like, this is a huge thing, so it's like, it's not hard to hit. That took way too long. That took forever. Wonder if there's some secret around here. Well, I think the Dragon Ball is just right here, so I'll probably just grab that real quick and then probably end it off here. So no, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode though. Actually, this might take longer than I thought. Well, yeah, I mean, but still, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Guys, one thing that I realized that I love doing is I just love meeting new people. I love meeting new people and understanding them, because it's like I'm collecting all this data. And that's kind of what it feels like. Like I'm just collecting data and learning. And I love it. It just makes me feel good, like. And I love just understanding people and trying and developing relationships and stuff like that. And just learning how to make people feel comfortable and feel safe and feel like also just like positive, make like help people just feel like they are in a place where they can grow, like, but also taking people there. Like, how do you get someone to grow? You know what I mean? That's another part of it. I'm just gonna go ahead and end it right here, because I feel like this episode has gone on for a little bit too long. So that'll being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to support this podcast, you can go to my website at joshuatbryan.com, and on that website there's a place where you can donate to, or you can honestly just by sharing this podcast is the best way that you can support this podcast and its growth. I promise from now on I'm gonna be more on schedule. I'm gonna mass record these, so I'll probably record maybe 1 or 2 more. I hope you guys enjoyed, and with that all being said, I will check you guys next time. See ya.